Hello, I'm Riley Ritchie. I'm Riley Ritchie. I am Riley Ritchie.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Raleigh Ritchie Radio, a podcast where we discuss all things Raleigh Ritchie. This show explores Raleigh Ritchie's music discography and provides reaction, review, and new insight to each song. I'm Kam,
And I'm Alesha.
and today we are going to be kind of going on a diversion, not a dead
Oh,
end, but
not a
it is
dead
a
end. And I don't know.
diversion. And we realized there's kind of some songs along the way of Raleigh Ritchie's career that don't really fit on like an EP or an album. Some singles that are just kind of out there that we thought we would spend some time discussing. We know this is not all of them, so we have
Mm.
some future episodes planned where we're going to kind of dive in more specifically to his like collaborations with Chris Loco and some songs that he's featured on, and then also singles that came out post Andy. But today we're going to kind of exist in the space between Mind the Gap, You're a Man Now
Yeah.
Boy, and Andy, which was a pretty chunk of time. I mean, it was 2016 to 2020, so 4 years.
Oh,
And
but we've actually surpassed that now, so
I
that,
know, I
that's kind
know.
of crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be what, 6 years? I was just thinking, and this is crazy. This year will be 10 years since You're a Man Now Boy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Last year we were like, God, 5 years since Andy, 10 years because it was February 2016 that it was released.
Wow.
So we're
Literally.
almost there.
Wow.
It
Well,
is February 2016 right
yeah.
now. I know. I
10 years.
know. I've been
Wow.
thinking like, what are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
We'll just
Oh,
tweet it.
you
Be
get
like,
you
yeah,
better
okay.
think.
I know. I was like, man. Yeah. So
Wow.
that's crazy. But 10
Yeah.
years. I'm also kind of curious then. I was thinking it was funny because I was like, well, with Andy, he did release like a 5 year vinyl. So I was like, is he gonna
Mm.
do a 10-year thing now? Like, also because of how delayed the Andy ended up being, it like just came out. So it doesn't really make sense for him to do
No, I
like to
think
turn
no.
around and immediately do a 10-year thing. Unless he does
No,
it at the end of the year again. But
let's not ask too much of him because
yeah. But I do feel
we
I'm like
need to
10
just
years is such a big
it
milestone.
is.
So I'd
I
like to
hope
see a little bit of stuff, a little
I
merch.
mean I hope we get some like yeah some merch or like some more live content of
Yeah.
even like we haven't got any like two nights lonely content yet.
Right.
We've got no and they did do an You're a Man Now Boy night
Yeah.
first of
Yeah.
all, so we could
Right.
get something from that. It's a
If
big
anything, just
milestone.
announce the third album
Exactly.
date. I'll be happy. Happy 10 years. My
Please.
next album's coming out on XYZ.
I mean, it might. You never know.
You never know.
No, we do. I feel like we do know. It's not. That's not
He
going to
could
be.
announce it. Not, I don't think it would come out that day, but he could be like, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So true. But
Maybe
like, I
drop like
mean,
a little music video or something.
maybe.
I do feel like he clearly had a plan last year. Like he is a strategic, like he's thinking about these things,
Yeah.
developing things. There's a lot we don't know about. He keeps stuff very close to the chest. But
Very,
every
very
time, like, I'm
close.
still like, does he know that it's 10 years? Like, there's still a part of me that's like, has
I know.
somebody
Do
told
we?
him?
Yeah,
And he's probably
somebody
like got
told
a
him.
whole thing planned out. And I'm like,
Yeah, literally, it's so true. It's given silence, but no hope. It's a big milestone. Like 10 years
It is,
is
yeah.
a big. Like 5 years for Andy, I thought, well, that's insane. But like we'd passed that at that point for You're a Man Now Boy, and now we're like double that. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So we need something. We do need something. We need to celebrate it somehow.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like your first album too. So that's really
Exactly.
extra special. 10 years old. Wow. It's
Wow.
like,
He's
what grade
old.
level is that? Fifth grade? I don't know.
Wow, it's so true.
That's like that kid is listening to music. That kid probably has an iPhone by now.
You're so right. Wow. Wow.
That kid's doing
That's
TikTok
insane.
dances.
Oh, that's insane.
I hope
Yeah.
we get something. I feel like we might. I know that there's a lot going on with planning for the third
Mm,
album too. So I don't want to be like, greedy and asking for too
yeah.
much, but
Do you think it'll
after
be
last year, I
something?
think we deserve a little bit
You're
more
so right. We
conversation.
deserve, yeah, we shouldn't, we're not like asking for too much, I don't think. Like, but do you think it's going to be something that's towards You're a Man Now Boy 10 years, or do you think it's going to be the new album? Like, I don't
I
know.
think it would be nice if it could be 10 years and then also an announcement about the new album.
So
Maybe
true.
like a little
We want
teaser
both.
photo or something. But
Not the concept photos, the K-pop. concept
I just
photo.
think it's kind of funny. I guess what year was it? I mean, he just did the You're a Man Now Boy like deluxe with the
Hmm.
special cover. Was that 2024 that he did
What,
that?
the vinyl?
The vinyl, yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, it was just before the
It was
concert.
just before
So,
Dead Ends
yeah,
and Diversions. Right.
damn, that's really
So, which was just random. He was like, here you go. Like that was just a random year that
yeah,
he
low key.
decided to do that.
Why?
Because that's
Literally
my
one.
thinking is I'm like, well, what could he even like do? You know?
That's
And
so
it's
yeah.
because he already did that. But they could
Yeah,
think
'cause
of
it,
something.
yeah, like
Re-release
they did
it.
the,
Because that's the thing too, is all of that merch that was on. I'm gonna go to his website. You're gonna hear me clicking clacking for a second. Um, that was on his website is now
mm,
just the like live from the O2 Andy stuff, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he has his old merch
yeah,
on there, does he?
no, says
So yeah, and he has Andy anniversary collection. Come on, brother, just do a You're a Man Now Boy
literally.
anniversary collection. Like
I
it's not that
mean,
hard. I
we
mean, maybe it
literally might
is.
just so true. We literally might just get the merch put back on again. Like,
The
you
old
might.
merch. Well, I was thinking, and I'm like, I am glad that I ordered like merch that I wanted
Yeah,
beforehand because I mean, we didn't ever get like a heads up that it was gonna go away, and then the website just
literally.
like stopped and like thank God I already had my Astro Schoolboy sweater
So
thing, and I
I
bought
love that.
the bomber jacket, which
Oh,
I
did
still need
you?
to wear. I should bust that out. But
Yeah.
that was like kind of I'm glad like there was stuff on there
Mm.
that I'm glad I got when I got because it's
Yeah, because
gone.
literally one day it was just not there.
It's just not there.
Give it back.
No warning. Yeah. No like
Literally,
final
we want it
sale. It's
back.
kind of a rarity. Yeah.
Right.
And he
I
had
mean, it
like
might just,
the like different collections. Yeah. Rest in
yeah,
peace. So
RIP. I mean, we might get it back. It might literally be, that might be the 10-year, just like the
yeah.
old
He's like,
merch.
gotcha. I mean, I'd be like, okay.
Slay, I guess. But yeah, maybe it's that.
Yeah.
But what do we want for this year? I think we need to talk about that.
I hope that I don't know. It's like these are the questions because it's like I get
No.
with the delay of last year, like then do you just like move like copy paste? So all of the
Mm,
plans that you had for last year, you now paste over here. So the dates and everything's like the same. And then do you like or do you move it all up because it's like okay well now we've have the album
yeah.
done like I don't know if you just replicate it or if you try to do a newer sooner schedule. I would prefer a newer sooner schedule, like I'd
Mm,
prefer dropping it earlier and then like trying to do everything but I don't know. And now I'm like, okay, maybe like a spring release and then you do like a
yeah.
little fall tour or something would be nice.
Cute.
But I know a lot of fans have been speculating still a September album release and then a
Really.
2027 tour. And I don't like that
I
idea.
don't like that.
Far
That's
away.
I don't want to manifest that one. No, I think
Yeah.
no, I would like a like you say, spring kind of like April time album. And then obviously you need to let it simmer for a bit. And then like tour end of summer
Yeah.
into like autumn time. I think that'd be
Yeah.
cute.
And
But
I mean, I don't feel like there's really like that much you don't need to like have that much of a break between the release and the tour, you know?
so
Like
true.
look
Yeah.
at like Harry, like Aperture, when's his tour starting or his residencies?
June.
Okay, so and it's coming out in March, so
Yeah.
but I feel like I don't know, and I haven't
Yeah.
looked at like how Raleigh Ritchie's tour stuff, but I also know in the past like when he does his tours, he does it pretty like quick, I guess. Like
Literally it's like,
he finishes it in like 2 weeks. Yeah, like
yeah,
so I think, you know, like it's not like a tour is a huge chunk of time. I think the biggest
no.
thing is like preparing for it, like the
The
logistics and then also just like the
songs.
physicality of it, like learning the
Yeah.
music. Um like I think that would take longer, but you know, who knows? Maybe they're in tour prep right now. I doubt
Please.
it, but a girl could
No.
dream.
They would not be doing so.
Please.
Oh, no, we need.
Yeah.
I hope he does do a tour. Like, I think he will. Like, you've got a
I think
tour
he
for the new
will do a
album.
tour. I think it's just a matter of like when will he tour. But
Yeah.
also, I mean, how fun like if it's the You're a Man Now Boy 10-year anniversary, like a little
Right.
10-year era tour or something you could do. Like that could be fun
Mm.
with the new album. Like there's a lot of good promotion with it. to tap into. God, 10 years of
Yeah,
Raleigh Ritchie. That's crazy.
that's so cute. No, no, definitely. We need to celebrate it. Like, even if he doesn't, we
I
will.
know.
We need to do something, but
I know.
no, we
Yeah,
definitely
I
need to.
know too that the Interview with the Vampire season 3 is set to premiere this summer. So I think if you're keeping that in mind, then like I don't know, promo with that, but
Mm,
I don't think like he has missed like Comic-Con before for
yeah,
concert stuff, so I wouldn't say like I'm not really factoring in that much of that into the impact on his
agree.
music, especially after last year and it not
A
being
good art, yeah.
to fulfill. Yeah.
Yeah. Last
And
year was
honestly
not.
though, like I know we're being annoyed. I mean, like, hello, but like
We're
it's
fans. That's what we
well,
want.
yeah, and also like it's just now February. Like I don't think not us specifically, like the fans in general have been like, tell us something. And I'm
Positive.
like, I mean, I agree, but like the year just started kind of. Like you have to
So
recover from the
true.
holidays and stuff. So I don't think us not hearing anything is like a bad
Mm,
sign, I guess. I think it's more so just like, yeah, the year's just getting started,
yeah.
you know? So
Yeah. But then when we get to October and we've got nothing,
yeah, I mean, I do think
then
there comes a point when I'm like, okay.
yeah, that was literally, I think it was like
Last year
around
we
that
kept
time.
hanging on, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, we were trying. We were like spreading rumors they were coming out in September. Like we
And
were,
people started to actually believe it. Like,
that's not our fault. That's just what we
it was
thought. Like,
we were very clear being like, this is a
yeah,
theory, you know?
yeah, yeah. But like,
And then when we asked him and he's like, I'm sorry.
it's not yet. Sorry.
Oh, heartbreak, heartbreak for
Yeah,
real. And like he
yeah,
tweeted December 11th about Andy. So like it's not like that's not that long ago again. Like, you know,
yeah. We've been through worse, I suppose.
we've definitely been through worse. So
Yes. But yeah,
we
no,
just want to date.
I do think this year is going to be good for him, like especially music
I do
wise.
too. And it's just getting
So,
started. So
exactly.
just
So
getting started.
we're just getting started. So we'll be fine. We can survive this, guys. We can.
I know it's really hard. We're really tired, but a glorious day is coming.
It is. Oh my God, no. But when I can just imagine now, the layout change, the
Ugh.
announcement,
Him
everything.
already adding Raleigh Ritchie to his Instagram username. I went,
That day, that day.
he's
Oh my goodness.
back.
No, literally, ugh, I'm just ready for it. I'm not, I don't think I am. I'm excited for it, but I'm like also like I don't want it to end. So I enjoyed this
I
build up to it.
know, I know. That's why I'm like, I
But
really want him to go all out because it's been
yeah.
so long. And then also, it's like, how much longer is it going to be again? So,
Mm,
like, we really need stuff to keep us alive as Raleigh Ritchie
mm,
fans to like
exactly.
content every day, brother.
Literally. Like we can only listen to the same songs so well, actually. I'm about to say so many times. We've been listening to Andy for the
Yeah,
past 12 months. We're
five
listening to
years,
him.
like.
So true. Like we don't care. But
Yeah.
we would like some new stuff.
Well, and again, I think a big thing we've talked about is like it's really interesting and today actually with some of the stuff like to hear him
Hmm.
talk about music and it is like such a personal journey that it's like you can really connect with what he's saying. And it's been so
Hmm.
long since we've like gotten to hear that side of him, like Riley
Yeah,
Ritchie, not Jacob
exactly.
Anderson. And like you kind of miss the artistry that he has, like that part of him. You don't really get it to hear about it and tap into it. So it's not only like the lack of new music, but it's like the lack of like hearing his vision as a musician. And
Hmm.
that's something that you start to miss. Like, yeah, we've had him talking about acting and stuff, but even that is an aspect of like he is at the hands of the director of the script. Like you
Hmm.
still form a character, but it's not completely like your
Yeah.
own in a way. And his
Hmm.
music is so much his,
Yeah.
and like his outlook on things and inspirations that fulfill, his desires to make music sound a certain way. So like it to me is the most like I don't know, authentic or true form of art coming from him. And when you're like a fan of that person then or like Jacob or Riley, like consuming that is like when you feel the most like I'm receiving something he's created and wanting to share out in the world. You can still feel that from his acting, but it feels like a much closer, I think, connection. And we love his music for those reasons of how he can like,
Hmm.
help us process things. And I think it will be interesting, like 10 years from You're a Man Now Boy, as we've been doing on this podcast, to reflect of like not only how he's grown up and changed, but it allows us to reflect on our life
Hmm.
as well and like becomes a way for us to process our emotions and our connections with ourselves. And it's like, it's almost like our therapist is coming back or something. Like
Yes.
whether he wants to be that or not, he like sort of
Hmm.
has become
Yeah.
this source of comfort for listeners. And it's not just like the music aspect, but like the identity of Raleigh Ritchie as a whole, I think is what we miss. And that's why when we say like, oh, a good RA, you're like, it's not just wanting an album, but it's really wanting to feel that connection to the musician that he is that we haven't had in years. So,
Correct. I could not say it
period.
better myself. That was great. That was great. No, genuinely, no, it
And
was.
mic drop, yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
like you're right. Like we're not. It is for selfish reasons in some aspects. Obviously, like we love his music, like we want to hear it. But like also, it's just nice as well to know where he's at. You know, because like we listened to Your Man Now Boy, we got a picture of what he was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago, we get where he was at with Andy. Then it's like
Yeah.
nice to know, just because that's how he speaks his truth. That's how he speaks, how he is. Like that's the only way we can fully picture like what he's going through. And I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what's so special
exactly.
about his music. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
I suppose it is quite parasocial in a way, like
It
me
is, but
wanting to
like I
know.
think music is that and like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
spoken like that he's glad that if his music's able to help someone and like once you
Mm.
release it, it's no longer yours. So I don't think there's like
It's not a bad
it's
parasocial.
not a bad thing. No, exactly. And
Mm.
I had said like when I had met him, and I'm saying it much more eloquently now, but I had been like, I was like, I miss Raleigh Ritchie. I miss
Mm.
him. And he's like, no,
Literally,
and he was like, I do too. And I was
yeah.
like, no, like I feel like I haven't seen him. And I think he was a bit like, girl, I'm right here.
But it's
But
like you
yeah,
are
I'm
there,
like,
but you're
turn
not.
the mat, turn Jacob
Yeah.
off, becomes start singing for
Mm.
me. But I do
Literally.
like he like
Start singing for me.
it would have been like no. Um but to him to be like, I miss him too. Like I think there is a
Mm.
aspect of that, like, where you connect with that part of you, and
Yeah.
making music. And again, like we've said over and over again, and like we have a whole podcast, like he's talented, he's good at it.
Mm.
It's not like
Literally.
we're so like that's the other thing of like I love hearing his process for creating stuff and what inspires him. And like as a musician, getting to celebrate that aspect of someone is so much different than like the acting, I think, so it's been great to see him thrive as an actor and
Yeah.
create really amazing things, but I'm really excited for him to return to something that feels
His
like it's
roots.
been neglected a little bit.
Yes. And I think, like you say, I think, well, obviously he said that he's
Yeah.
missed him as well. And I think it's
Yeah.
just like because he can, I know it sounds stupid, but because he is him, like Jacob Anderson is
Yeah.
him. But it's like, I feel like when his Raleigh Ritchie is just his authentic, like that is him.
Hmm.
Even though it's under a different name, like
Right.
it's the rawest version of him. That's where we find
Yeah.
everything out. Maybe that's just what makes him more comfortable being under a different name, but speaking his truth kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, and he said that I think where he was like, I used the name as like a way to like a protection of like
Mm,
it's because it allows me to be so vulnerable, then it like is almost like anonymous in a way.
yeah.
So when you're under this guise of someone else, you almost can be more yourself because it doesn't reflect back on you,
Mm.
which I think is really interesting. And maybe he just said that because he needed an answer to that question because he gets asked it all the time, but it's a really good answer.
Probably that. Yeah, probably that one. To be fair, I believe you.
It's funny. Well, should we talk about some songs?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah?
we're here for. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we're gonna discuss four, right? Four singles today. I think I'm counting correctly.
Yeah.
That Riley Ritchie has throughout his music career. Some of them are really, really underrated. I think all of them are, but in my
Yeah.
house, one of them is played quite frequently. Um, and
Ooh.
yeah, what we're gonna be going from kind of the pre-You're a Man Now Boy era up until Andy, um, with some other ones that we'll be talking about another time. But let's start with the two songs that came out it's not an EP, and I don't know if Spotify has it differently, but it does have it
Yeah.
as like Cuckoo single, and then there's two songs on it. So they're
Yeah.
packaged kind of together. Cuckoo came out, I think, in October of 2014, and then You Make It Worse was also part of this package, and I think that came out in November. But at least for Apple Music, it's just titled Cuckoo, and then the You Make It
Two
Worse is a
songs.
part of that. I don't know what that's called. Like, I don't know, like a single
No.
release
I suppose
name.
it is a single,
Yeah,
kind of
A
an EP.
side,
It's
B
not really an
side.
EP. Yeah, it's not really an
No,
EP, is it?
no.
Yeah.
But but because I think the title is Cuckoo, You Make It Worse, I think we often forget about. You and I were talking
Yeah.
before we recorded, like, oh God,
Mm.
yeah, like it's not
Yeah.
one that I remember or think of, but it's really good. I really
It is a
liked.
really good song. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll talk about those two first. So yeah, Cuckoo, both were released in 2014, so before You're a Man Now Boy. I mean really early on because I mean in the fall of 2014, but yeah. The Cuckoo obviously features Little Simz, who kind of shows up near the end there on a verse, and we'll talk about Little Simz a little bit. But it was produced by Stefan Pounce, who's a producer known for his work with Childish Gambino and Chance the Rapper.
Oh,
And then You Make It Worse. I'm gonna butcher this guy's last name, but it's Jason DeZuzio. I
okay.
love you,
Okay.
Jason. Who's worked with Adele, John Legend, and more. I wanted to shout out the artwork for this. It's
Yeah,
like
I
him in
love
the
it.
chair with the little like what is that bird called? Is it a cuckoo board, I guess? With the
I'm
big beak.
assuming so. Yeah,
It
we'll
reminds
say
me
it
of the
is.
one from Lion King, you know?
Yeah.
Zuzu from Lion King. Is that the guy's
Just
name? I
like,
don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
my shit.
I don't know.
And then there's an ostrich and like a goat.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
a
like he's in
bit.
a waiting room and there's just animals
Yeah.
around him. It's very fun. Like a
Yeah.
quirky veterinarian office or something.
Yeah.
Um, Love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it was interesting when I was looking into it. Vice is like who premiered Cuckoo, and
Mm.
then Complex premiered You Make It Worse, which are pretty
Oh,
big, names
yeah.
in
Mm.
in the industry. Vice said about Cuckoo, Rally's latest is an exercise in clean-lined minimalism, largely letting the boom clap, eerie Cuckoo and his own elastic tunes provide the hook. It's punctuated by the occasional but perfectly necessary jazz-tinged wig out. Nicely done. And I'm like, yeah, like I
Yeah.
think if we're talking about cuckoo, it's very like cuckoo is like the first thing that I imagine, almost like that bird noise. And then Little Sim's
Hmm.
voice, I feel like I think of a lot, but it's a pretty steady like beat, I feel like.
Mm.
And I
I suppose,
like
yeah.
fits really
Oh,
nicely with her voice.
mm. No, I agree. I think the feature on this one is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Well, I say one of my favorites from him,
He
but one
doesn't
of my
have that
favorites
many, but
ever.
yeah, I
No,
get what you
exactly.
mean.
One of my favorites ever. But like, like you say, I think it is cuckoo in it. Like you can't
Yeah.
actually explain it as anything else. It's just
Cuckoo.
yeah. It's
It's a very
yeah.
unique sound.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
unique. And you know when you said that he worked like the producer worked with Childish Gambino and
Yeah.
Tyler Creator, it just makes so much sense. Like
Yeah.
it's that sort of experimental sound. I think that's what
Yeah,
I
that's a good point. Yeah.
and I also like 'cause there's the drum in it, like with the breakdown. I love when a song sounds live. I don't know how to explain
Ooh,
it.
okay.
But the
Yeah.
drum, it
Yeah.
sounds that's what you'd hear in the studio. But it's not like
Yeah.
any like editing over it. I like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
That's one
that's a
thing
good
I
point.
noticed.
Yeah. Well, and like talking about featuring, you're right, he doesn't have a lot, but like Little
Mm.
Sims, Elsa E. Elmar and Stormzy, like who he does feature with, I'm like, my God, like clearly
Mm.
he's got good taste in music because he's
Exactly.
and he used to like tour with Ray, like he and Kendrick, but Kendrick's always been the biggest deal in my head. But like
Yeah, Rachel.
he connects with like kind of underrated artists at the beginning of their
Mm.
career.
Yeah.
And I mean, like look at Little Sims now. Like she's such an icon and
Right.
like no, I mean, I'm not from the UK. I think your guys' relationship with her is probably different, but I do think she
Mm.
started to come overseas a lot. Like, I think she's become much more of like this really like innovative voice.
Yeah.
And I think like she had released a lot of her albums like as an independent artist, so that was kind of like really cool to see. And now I know her a lot from movies from acting. Like she's just in a Cillian Murphy movie.
Mm.
So and
Really? I
had
didn't even
like a
know that.
yeah, and had like a viral interview and stuff going around, which is cool.
Oh,
So like to watch like her progression from this is
yeah.
pretty amazing. And then like same with like Stormzy and Ray, like all of these people who he's worked with that have really like become such
Blown up.
influential UK
Hmm.
musicians. Yeah, you listen to Little
Yeah,
Simz.
I like
Like,
Little Simz. Yeah, she's
yeah.
really good. And this was actually the first song I heard from her as well. So
Oh
this
wow.
is the introduction I had for her. But she's like, I would like to hear them collab again. I feel
Yeah.
like everyone on Twitter always says that anyway. But like, I feel like musically, although they
Yeah.
might not do the same music, although I don't know what music is going down now, but
Right.
I do think they could work together and level it out and make another, I don't know, just another banger. I can't explain it any other
Yeah.
way. But everyone,
Yeah.
like, this is a song that everyone loves. I just think it
Yeah.
is one, even though it is a really underrated one, and it's not
Yeah.
from an album. I just
Right.
think it's one that like it's always in someone's like top 10.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
feel
what
like it's
it's
really
like.
playful and
Mm,
like that level of play through a collaboration and featuring like makes me feel like there must have been like trust there and like
yeah.
excitement for them both to deliver. Like it's yeah, it feels very original and for them both to kind of like come together on this, I think is a testament of like what that collaboration must have been like in the
Hmm.
studio. And yeah, it is like innovative and it's like it would be fun to hear him try to do capture this energy again and something a little, I don't know, out there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because it is like just two young people having
Yeah.
fun on the song. Like that's literally what it sounds
Yeah.
like, and I
Yeah, and
like
that
that.
vibe like bleeds through.
And
Yeah.
like we said, like it is an experimental one, and I don't know if I can see him doing another one like it,
Yeah.
but like I do think like it is one that I mean it is a timeless song. Like I feel I got back into it again this year, and I think
Yeah.
you could release this now and it be a huge song. Like I just think
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's a good one. I really
Yeah,
do.
I agree. It is timeless in its sense, which is interesting considering like how it's like playing around with noise and like the beat
Mm,
and like where it inserts her verse. But it does feel like something you could like hear on TikTok or something
yeah.
like the kids would love. Like it does feel,
Mm,
yeah, like a
yeah.
it's like almost a traditional pop song in the way of what we think a pop song is now. Like it almost reminds
Yeah.
me of like K-pop, like NCT, like a little bit. Like it
Yeah. No, it
reminds
is.
me of
Yeah.
trying something new, but that's become
Mm,
like the standard now, but back then it would have been a little bit out there, I
yeah.
think.
Yeah. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
NCT could release it and everyone would absolutely eat it up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's such a good
Love
song.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alongside Cuckoo, You Make It Worse was released.
Hmm.
This, like I said, was produced by Jason D'Azuzio. I don't know. But Complex premiered this and they said the introspective, ethereal song, complete with his goosebumps-inducing chorus, will get you through even the worst of days. With
Oh,
effortlessly gorgeous vocals, Ritchie is heading to the top and fast. Which I think is such a beautiful
it
little
is.
claim that they gave. But what I really like with this track being connected with Cuckoo is the range, right? Like
Yeah.
You Make It Worse to me is a very kind of slow, melodic, like um oh, what are they called? The like K-pop, like a ballad. It reminds me,
Hmm.
it's not a ballad, but it's
Yeah.
definitely like more emotional, much more yeah, like
More
vocals, like he's
serious, I
really
guess.
yeah, more serious. He's singing. It's a slower beat.
Hmm.
So I think that in connection with Cuckoo, which is feels a bit more experimental and like playful, is really like does show his range. And I think that's important before you then release an album, for him to try to get like both sides of the
Yeah.
coin captured there. You Make It Worse, I think, I think he sounds so beautiful on it.
It
I
does.
think it's really easy to just kind of get swept up into it.
Hmm.
Um, and it is one of those where I think it gets hidden away in his
Yeah.
albums. You kind of have to look for it. And once you do find it, though, it's like, oh, what a nice little hidden
Nice
gem
surprise.
in
Yeah,
here.
it's a nice
Yeah.
surprise.
I feel like
But
it was out for a while, and I had been a fan for a while before I had realized
mm,
that it existed.
no,
Yeah.
it's very hidden. Like even I'm not gonna lie, I'm not, but I do forget about it sometimes. I know we spoke
Yeah.
about it before, but like it's not because I don't like it. It's just because it isn't one that's, I don't know, there. It don't like,
Yeah,
it's just not that, like, yeah, it's not like in an
yeah,
album or, and obviously, like, even the Cuckoo, it's just a single. Like, that's what
right.
it's labeled as. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So it's really kind of a little hidden treasure in there.
Yes.
It reminds me a little bit of like In Too Deep, like
Yeah.
which I mean, if this is coming off like The Middle Child, I guess, which would have been 2013, that EP. So it does like I do feel like these make sense as a bridge between that into and like Black and Blue, I guess, but like it
Yeah.
feels early Raleigh Ritchie. It reminds me of kind of a more, yeah, In Too Deep,
Hmm.
like that sound that he was trying. And I do feel like he's sort of gotten away from it, I guess. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think with Andy what would be like the closest counterpart, probably like Squares.
Yeah.
And like
That's,
structure is similar, but also like much more like it sounds like he like recorded a voice memo and released it, but like
yeah.
positively.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
there's a unique sound to it. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't feel like I think now he's
No.
much more into the like live instrumentals,
Yeah.
like the orchestra, and I think that then adds like a layer to his songs that even if it is more of like a ballad like this, it feels like there's more energy behind it or
Yeah.
like yeah, you know, like live music is so much more like in your face. There's a little bit more like a
Yeah.
womp to it. Where this is quiet and subtle and it's like sad. Like
It
these
is
songs are
sad.
like sad songs to me.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
Andy certainly has sad songs, but it's not like a sad, this is like a sad romance song to
Yeah.
me, like post breakup blues. And
Mm.
Andy's more like, you know, Squares, which would be like, I guess, a typical ballad, is
Yeah.
a love song. And
Mhm.
like Big and Scared, which, like, all of those songs, even with their sadness, there's like either anger or like hope or like reflection. And this feels much
Yeah.
more present and like
Agreed.
emotional. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I was just thinking then when you said that about Andy, like, if he re-recorded these now, like, would he
Yeah.
change it to make it like
Yeah.
more? I don't know. Like, I feel like he's added, like you say, is more production,
Yeah.
like precise. He knows exactly, like, wants to create this picture, which
Yeah.
I feel like he does a lot more now. But like, yeah, would he like add anything in or like? I don't think he'd change the lyrics. I think that's one thing that I know he wouldn't change in anything because that's how he felt in the moment. But like,
Uh-huh.
music wise, would he change it? That's
Yeah, and even like if we're thinking of the lyrics of this, like it actually kind of reminds me of Shadow, where it's like
mm,
they're both sort of in communication with like almost like a resentment, I guess.
yeah,
Like, but this is more playing it as like the sad thing where Shadows is a little bit more like FU joyful like
yeah,
beat. So I
yeah.
think like Shadow could be kind of like a ooh like a fun song where this is definitely
Mm,
not a fun like this is
no,
a song
no,
that you have your flashlight out at a concert.
yeah,
So I could it would be interesting like you make it worse being like how he would create the
mm,
sound of it now. And
yeah.
I think it also depends on the emotions at the time of making the song, you
So
know,
true.
and what you decide to
Mm,
linger in. Yeah.
yeah, true.
Fun. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, those two, if you haven't listened to them, highly recommend checking out.
Hmm.
Let's talk about Lonely Summer, which is this is the song that I listen to all the time. I think like
Yeah.
I always say that this is like one of my favorite
Hmm.
Raleigh Ritchie songs, which is weird because it's one of those that I'm like, it is like a random single and he like did it
Yeah.
in collaboration with like a campaign. And yeah, I just think it's so
It
good.
is so good.
It's so fun. I love the beat. Like,
Yeah.
I wanna waste my life for like as soon as he starts, it's just it's so it is summery and it's like
Mm,
it's the that twinge of like melancholy that you feel in
yeah.
summer, which is such a specific emotion that I love. Like it's the perfect I mean, I almost feel like we're making like I love Riley Ritchie and I love his brand, but it is like funny how he is sad boy and he is like
Yeah.
depressed. And then they're like, "Can you make a summer song for us?" And he's like, "Sure, but
Exactly.
it's still going to be
A
fucking
sad summer.
depressing." Like it's sad boy summer, but it's the
Exactly.
perfect like
Exactly.
example of him. Like, of course, what
Hmm.
else would we expect? Like it's almost like
Exactly.
memeable how on brand it is. But so this was released in 2016 as well. I'm gonna butcher this name. I think it's an Italian brand. Maybe you guys have it
Mm.
more in the UK. Not Papidri, not Papidri, Papidri. I
Yeah,
don't know. I've never
I
heard of
don't
this
know.
brand. It's a clothing company. I think they still release stuff. Um, but I actually just ordered my good friend Lucy, shout out Lucy, she found the book bag that they did in collaboration with him. It was like a book bag, a
Cute.
sweater, and a shirt, and she sent it to me, and I did order it off eBay, so I'm very excited for it to come. A little,
Lovely.
I mean, it's not cute, it's really ugly. Like,
Oh,
I don't like the design,
but
but I
it's
think it's a
Raleigh Ritchie.
funny merch thing to have. That but you, I can say it in my head, I just can't make my head
Yeah,
say the words. It's a
that's
weird.
fine. Yeah,
Apologies if this is problematic of us. We will do better.
yeah.
Um, they decided to collaborate with musicians to do there's the Vivaldi's like orchestra music of like the different seasons, the four seasons. I like the fall one the most, but he got invited to do the summer collab. So they each of these musicians incorporated part of that like classical element of the song into a
Mm.
brand new like imagining of it. So the beat is similar to it's like influenced by this, which I think is
Yeah,
also really cool to
that is
see like
cool.
yeah, how you develop something from this like classical piece of music and put your own spin on it and still make it
Mm.
sound original and fun and like kind of give it
Yeah,
life again, which yeah, is really fun. It's like a violin concerto. Um, and then they like made these collaborations. So then the other people who did it was Toki Monsta, Jan Blomqvist, and Sharon Dorson. I don't know them. Shout out to these
I
people
don't.
though. I'm
Yeah,
sure
shout out. I
their
don't
collabs
know
were
him.
great.
Yeah,
And then they threw like a big festival thing for like the launch of
cute.
this connection that they did. So you can watch the live version of him singing the song, which is like what I think's on streaming. Um, if you just go to like Riley Ritchie, The Lonely Summer. But I will say, I found a video on Facebook, and you've seen this before. I've shared it before, but there's a Facebook live version of his performance, and it has like the actual performance because the one on
Mm.
YouTube is like they took video footage and then put the song
Yeah.
over it. This is his actual singing, and in it, he kind
Oh.
of does a little freestyle. He does like a
Oh.
little like I don't know, a little breakdown of Lonely Summer. So I highly recommend kind of checking that out. It's a little bit fun if you need some
Mm.
new Riley Ritchie to cope through. I'll link it in the bio because I have it on YouTube, like on my channel, but I think I privated it because I or unlisted it so no one would get mad at me. But whatever. It's on Facebook. I just was like, I'm putting this on YouTube. Yeah, so they talked about this. They did an interview with Highs Nubiety, and he said he actually knew of Four Seasons and the whole like concerto when he was a kid because his dad listened to it, and it was one of his favorite pieces of classical music. And he said, when I listened to Summer, I thought it was really dark. Spring sounds summery and bright, but then summer sounds quite foreboding. For me, this is what summer felt like as a teenager. I wasn't one of the cool kids. Summer was a pressure thing. I didn't want to get my legs out and wear shorts and vest and stuff because I
Aw.
had stringy arms. Everybody else
Oh.
was cool going out in groups and getting off with each other and stuff, and that wasn't me. So it just kind of reminded me of those summers growing up. That's what took me in the direction I went in. I found this a hard piece of music to work with because there's a lot of movement. It's hard to write melodically over it. It's hard to write a singing part. I listened to it a lot. I had it in my ears when I was walking around, but I tried not to overdo it because I didn't want to be so familiar with it that I wasn't able to do my own thing. Because the piece of music is so dark, I wanted to take what I heard and use that to steer the focus. I knew if I did that alone, it was going to be too miserable, so I offset it with a brighter, more upbeat music production. I like to do that, strike a balance. Everything's about a balance in the world. I decided to ask myself how this piece of music made me feel, adapt that feeling into something, and then find a way to reincorporate the original piece. I came up with a lot of different versions, which, like, my God, his fucking
Mm.
mind, listening to him
Literally,
talk,
it's
like, he's
crazy.
so smart. And this is exactly what we were saying of like, this
Mm.
is what I miss. I miss hearing him talk about music
Exactly.
because this process is so
Mm. It's not
incredible.
just music.
It's
Literally,
so complex, and like every choice
exactly.
that he makes is so informed by something.
Mm.
And like how he says, like, I like to do that with like taking an upbeat production and then putting like sad lyrics over it. Like that is a classic staple, but he's not just doing it because like there is
No.
how he's taking this music sounds dark, but I don't want to make a dark production. So how can I
Yeah.
infiltrate that into something else? Like it's such an
his
intellectual
mind.
exercise. Yeah, like truly his
Literally.
mind. Like
Like, who
I'm
thinks
so
like that?
amazed.
Literally,
Yeah.
I mean, who can think like that? It's annoying. Like, teach me.
It's
I feel
so
like
annoying.
you can't even be taught that way. Like, I think it's like
Yeah.
him saying, "I'm like envisioning all these things. And it's
Yeah.
making me think of this, this, and this." And I'm like, "But how? Like,
Yeah.
how? How?"
Right. And
It's
like here,
insane.
I mean, I like can you
Oh,
this is so funny. I'm
I'm
just like, this is
scared.
how his brain is, and we're over here being like, yeah, I like this song. Like if
Damn.
he ever, I know he don't listen, but if he ever listened,
Yeah.
he'd probably be like, those bitches dumb as hell.
You're so right. Wow, wait.
No, we sometimes say thoughtful things, but
Yeah,
nothing this
very sometimes.
thoughtful. We're not
No,
musicians though. We're
no, exactly.
critics.
Like, we're fans. This is like you make. Oh, anyway. No, he will be judging. He will judge. But
It's
that's not the
so
point.
funny.
It's our song now. He said it's our song. As soon as it's released,
Yes,
it's ours. So we
it's
can
ours.
interpret
So we
it
can say
however we
whatever the
want.
fuck we want, but
Exactly. It's
it's
my
just
song
like
now.
how he can make those
No,
connections.
it's
It's
insane.
and he just like drops it so casually. Like,
You're just
brother,
like,
did you know you just made a work of
gotcha.
art? Like,
Literally. I like
no one
he's just
can
gone,
do this. It's
yeah, like
not
I just felt like this is summer, but then I felt like it was sad because of this. And I'm like,
him
but
casually dropping everything's about balance in the world in this interview. Like, fuck off, my guy. That's so impressive. It's
so
very cool.
he's so cool, but I would
Yeah.
not tell him that. That's why we're saying it on the podcast.
It's like sounds like that's I haven't used that level of like critical thinking since I was like in college having to write like essays, and he's
I
just
don't even
like
think I
doing
did it
it
then.
like every day when he's hearing
Literally,
music that inspires him. Like it is such a gift to be able to
literally.
do.
But it
And we
must be
get to
so
observe it.
tiring. It must be so tiring. Like
I know.
literally hearing this instrumental and going,
Yeah.
right, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm feeling this, 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 and I'm like, I get it because like when I
Just
listen
like
to his
pull it out
songs,
of
I'm like, oh,
nowhere.
like you relate it to this
Hmm.
thing, this thing, this
Yeah,
thing.
right.
But to like you're hearing this for the first time and you've been given like this task, I guess, to write something to do with it, and it's just
Yeah.
easy
Well, and you
peasy.
have to be like so like aware of yourself, I guess, and your
Yeah.
talents and like also feel welcome to connect back to your past self and like because
Mm,
he said he remembered it as a kid, like you really have to know who you are and like trust in
yeah.
yourself to be able to do that. And I think that is like to trust that no, like my instinct is right to make this. My like what
Mm,
I'm leaning to this. I'm finding this. I'm feeling this. Like to be open to that exploration, which I think is needed to create real art
yeah.
that comes from you, is not
Hmm.
an easy thing. And like
No.
I have a fucking shit memory, so I'd be like, I don't know. Like I don't know how I felt to feel about this. Like
No.
it's very like you're very open and very vulnerable to be like this is how I feel listening to this and I'm going to take
Mm.
that feeling and I can transform that into a way to communicate with others. That's
It's
insane
insane.
to be able to do. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Wow. What a
Wow.
guy.
Props to him.
Oh, crazy.
And I think, we love this song too. So then it's like
Yeah.
really to hear him talk about it. And
Mm.
I think, precisely because we can hear like the level of thought that he did put into this, which could have been like he could have just put some random shit together. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't going on his albums. It was a collab
No.
he did with a campaign and he
Hmm.
created something so thoughtful.
Yeah.
And I think that bleeds into why we like the song so much, why we like all of his music, but where it's like, no, we can feel the level of care that you
Hmm.
put in creating this. And it's not just something he did
Yeah.
because, you know.
I mean, I feel like I need to listen to it like in more depth now.
Yeah,
Like
me
it's one of them.
too.
I feel like later on I'm gonna lay down and just listen to it and actually deep properly what he's
Yeah.
saying. Because
I really do like the construction of this song and
yeah,
like how he uses instruments. Like it really does start like very reminds me of like a bell or something on a beach, like a very
yeah,
like nice breeze in the air. You kind
yeah,
of sway with it, and then later it picks up more, and then he does do like the fuck it and like has a little bit of a bass
yeah,
drop. Like it is a really fun it all pieces together really well.
yeah.
But um yeah,
So
it's
good.
a good anthem. And
It
he said,
is.
I wanted to make a sad boy summer anthem. I wanted to make a song for all the people like me that really felt uncomfortable, inferior, and weird during summer when everyone else was having fun. So classic him to
What a
think of.
guy.
What a
What a guy.
guy. I do think this
What
is
a
a
guy.
funny question. They asked him what his favorite season is. What would you think Riley Ritchie's favorite season is if you had to guess? Comment
Autumn.
below.
Oh,
Autumn. Yeah, well,
yeah.
you could say too.
Oh, sorry.
I think I also would have said I was asking you, but then I also asked the audience.
Oh, yeah. Comment down below before you find
That
out
should
the
be like
answer.
I think Spotify lets you do like polls, so we should do that.
Oh.
But I think it would also be autumn for me. I would guess that, but he
Mm.
says no. He says winter is probably my favorite. I like cold winters. I like snow. I want to be in a snowy winter. We never get that in the UK. There's nothing cozier than going into a warm home after being in the snow or wearing a nice coat that keeps you warm. Brother, you're just trying to be different, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
stop trying to be different
just
there.
say fall like everybody else.
Literally. Anyway,
Yeah,
no, no, that's incorrect.
interesting.
Especially with the winter in the UK, it's the worst,
Yeah,
worst
I'm
thing
like, isn't it
ever.
just like gray and rainy? Like,
Rain, and then it's like you'll wake up ready for work, and then there's that much snow, and then you're like, right, okay, never mind. So no, he's a liar.
yeah, it's just funny that, and he does say, I like summer, I just didn't like it when I was a kid. I do think it's funny, like, that he got summer then, because, yeah, like, if you think of Raleigh Ritchie, like, the stereotypical thing to do would be to give him, like, a fall or winter, like, the
Yeah.
depressing season
Yeah.
music. And they give him an upbeat one, and yeah, it's like, this is kind of the birth, I feel like, of the sad boy movement
Sad
with
boy
him, of
summer.
the self-proclaimed, yeah, like, sad lyrics, upbeat dancing vibes. Come
Mm,
on. And he had that before, especially with You're a Man Now Boy, but this is like
yeah,
really him, I feel like, starting to claim that as part of his identity.
I like that.
Yeah. I love Lonely Summer, so
It's a
definitely
great
listen to
song.
it and check out the live version too.
Mm,
I'll link it below. But okay, so let's talk about a song that came out 2 years later.
I love this song.
Me, Myself, and I. This was, like I said, there was a really long pause from 2016 to 2020 when we get Andy. During that pause, he was touring quite a bit, and he did release Time in a Tree as a single actually before Me, Myself, and I. But since Time in a Tree is included on Andy, we're going to talk about it then. Me, Myself, and I kind of is in its own world. And he actually has talked about it and why it's not on the album. So we'll get to that a little bit too. But it is just a single that he released. And it came out in 2018. And it was produced by Soundwave again, who we he's produced a lot of songs and has worked with Kendrick Lamar. I don't know if he won a Grammy, but I know he was just not, I mean, I think he has Grammys, but I know he was just
Yeah.
nominated again for like
Oh.
producer of the year. So I should have looked. The Grammys were yesterday, but I hope he won. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, this is yeah, why do you said you listen to this a lot. What do you like about it?
I just love it. Like it's just
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's one of them songs again. The beat is just so good. Like it just makes me want to dance, but I know full well that
Yeah.
it's saying something that I shouldn't be dancing to.
Classic RR.
I know I can't help
Yeah.
it. But it's just like it is just such a good like I can imagine it in a club. Maybe not a club if
Yeah.
it's gonna be but like I can imagine it in
Yeah.
a club. Summer again, summer vibe. Wait, when did it come what month did it come out?
Let me look actually. Me, myself, and I,
It's
Riley
giving like
Ritchie. November too. It says, I
oh
believe. Well,
oh
I don't know. I think November. I do think it was
November.
November.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean summer then
Sometimes Google
because
lies though, so who
yeah.
knows?
Who knows? Okay, we'll say November. But like
You
the
like to
vibe,
imagine it in the summer. I get it.
yeah, I can imagine it
Yeah.
in the summer. It's just good vibe. Like I just
Yeah.
love the song.
I really like his like faster speed when he gets into the verse of
Yeah.
like, I've always needed attention, always needed a friend. Cure as a means to
Yeah.
prevention. I wish I had more to prevent. Like, and then how he transitions into taking a bigger deal. Like how he
Mhm.
controls his pacing with his singing is really fun. Um, it's
Just so
interesting
good.
because to think Time in a Tree and this kind of were companion pieces. And he's talked
Yeah.
about this. Like, this is him being very much like, it reminds me of his other songs where we've talked about where you like kind of allow yourself to be a little bit toxic, but he's like being like, I'm selfish, like fuck it, like this
Mhm.
is how it is. Where
Yeah.
like Time in a Tree is similarly being like, I like a same response or a different response to the same issue, I guess, of
Yeah.
feeling isolated, but then being like,
Hmm.
this is depressing, this is hard for me versus like fine, like fuck it, I'll do this, I'll be like this. And he did say about it. There's a they some so for Billboard, which premiered it, he said like in response to why Time in a Tree was on Andy and about seeking peace, where this song feels antagonistic. Like, did you do that on purpose? And he said, there's a part of me that's trolling myself a bit. I think it's almost an acknowledgement how sometimes self-obsessed feels like the wrong word. It's just like you can get really lost in yourself to the point where you're no longer connecting or you're no longer in touch with people that you care about. The song is kind of about that, about being so lost and how confusing and confounding life can be sometimes that you kind of just obsess over these things and you lose touch with where other people are at in your life. I sometimes find that I can feel like I'm not entirely connected to how other people, the weight that my woes and struggles with myself adds to other people, I suppose. And so this song for me is an acknowledgement. There's a line in the song that's like, you let me indulge in myself, and that's the thing I love about you, which is kind of oxymoronic. Like the fact that you let me vent is something that I like about you, but it's about me, you know?
Mm.
This song is an expression of indulging in those feelings, difficulties that I have within myself, and how that takes a toll on other people, which is really interesting of like his perspective of like selfishness and like
Mm.
people who like love to hear themselves talk, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, but also to be self-aware enough of the impact that has on other people, which means you're not one of those people, because if you were like a full narcissist, you wouldn't have that perception,
Yeah.
you know? Which is really like interesting that he like has that. And he did say, me, myself, and I did not fit with the album. When I released the track list of Andy, I had people asking me why it wasn't on there, which made me laugh.
Mm.
It got me thinking about how you can just practically make your own playlist and albums nowadays with the
Mm.
streaming platforms that are available. So if you wanted it on there, they could literally just add it to a playlist and recreate the album how they want it, which is funny. But
Absolutely.
I do kind of agree where it feels
It's
it
not
feels like it.
Andy.
No, it's not Andy. It feels like it should
No.
go on Mind the Gap almost more to me, where
Yeah. Agreed.
and even the aesthetic of it, like I think fits with
Hmm.
that. But
Yeah.
Andy, like we've said, and we'll talk much more about it in the future, is like this journey through therapy he's talked about of like this is the healing process. And this one I think could go kind of in those beginning stages of like being angry at the world and stuff, but it does feel even sonically like it's sort of its own thing. It doesn't feel as in communication with the rest of the album. It's very, very blunt. It's very self-indulgent. Which is fun, but it does feel like, yeah, kind of its own thing.
Entity. Yeah. I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah. I think it's like when we described with Mind the Gap and You're a Man Now
Yeah.
Boy. Like the songs are very fitting to the time, but they're not fitting with the story that it's trying to tell. And I
Yeah.
think it's the same. And it also production wise, I don't know if it would fit in Andy. Like I
Mhm.
can't imagine listening to that and then
Yeah.
I don't know what song it is. That's what I mean. I can't imagine what song it is sit in front of that. Like, whereas I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Andy just the both albums just
Flows,
flow.
right. Well, and there are parts that he's doing where the
Mm,
transitions immediately
yeah,
go into the next song. Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And I do think that's also what's interesting with like Time in a Tree, and it would be interesting like it's so hard because Andy came out around the pandemic, so like in the
Mm,
middle of it. So it's really hard like what he's talked about. And I know it was initially supposed to be like a collaboration album, so how things have changed, but like how much of it was like I even think Time in a Tree making it on there was like a special exception that was
yeah,
made, it feels like. So I think to have another song on there would have been like, okay, like it
yeah,
feels like Andy was, and it was, this was 2018, so we still have 2 years to go until we get to the
yeah.
finished product of Andy. Um, so that's, like a lot can happen in that time of
Mm,
releasing music. But yeah, and he says like, I just really think like the self-loathing aspect is interesting. They say you call yourself selfish in the chorus. In what ways are you maybe positively selfish to try and cope with whatever you're going through or help yourself? And this is a very long response, but I think it's interesting.
hmm
He says, I think actually my thoughts on this change depending on where my head's at. There are times where I feel like, oh, well, I'm being selfish in an unhealthy sense of the word. Like you're finding things difficult in some way and you sort of like put that all on somebody you know you can reliably talk to. But actually, I'm starting to realize that when somebody really loves you or you really love somebody else and really care about where they're at in their head and how they feel, the most selfish thing is to not let them in. You allow them to worry about you. Allowing somebody that cares about you to be concerned without letting them in, without letting them know, is selfish. I think a lot of mental illness is inherently selfish. That might come across as saying the person is selfish, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those feelings that you can't help. It's not the person being selfish, it's illness taking over. You get stuck in your head and you don't have space for anything but that. The illness and the emotions and everything that comes with it pollute your mind and make you selfish, but it's not you. It's the illness polluting you. And this song is very specifically about my relationship. My girlfriend has put up with so much, and she wouldn't think of it as putting up with in the same way that I haven't felt since I met her that I've had to ever put up with anything. But when you're so close to somebody, you share space and you share your days together. I guess it can kind of relate to families and friendships too. You can sometimes take for granted their energy that they put into you. It's weird because I've thought about stuff since the song. The song is winking at it. I'm not saying everything I say in the song is actually a particularly healthy way to think, but I've been thinking about it since releasing the song. My thoughts have changed on some things, and I think it's really important to talk to people. Talk to people who love you if you can. It's not selfish. It doesn't stop you from feeling that way sometimes, which I can completely understand. I've closed off and been really quiet and ended up going into myself. So damn,
Mm.
brother, like he's dropping to get some really interesting truth bombs of how you think
Mm.
about mental illness. And again, like even to
What a
see him say
guy.
like it's changed since I've written the song, and like
Yeah.
that's really impressive too. Of like I think this whole conversation of like what is selfish and like
Mm.
is it selfish to, especially in our day and age, which is also why I'm really excited for R3, is like how we've weaponized like therapy talk and how we decide like when it's worth like investing in relationships. Like we don't really give people grace so much anymore.
Yeah.
We don't give them like we don't put in effort because we prioritize like self-care over like
Mm-hmm.
doing stuff that maybe is inconveniencing us. I've seen a lot of talk about that of like, no, go pick your friend up from the airport, like they're
Yeah.
not taking advantage of you. Like there's
Yeah.
how much we're willing to give to other people. And he's already kind of like having these like really interesting conversations of that in this album. And I think like calling out this type of behavior and like yeah, it'll be really interesting to hear it if he's aware of that like now in 2026 when mental health and taking care of yourself and all of this stuff is much more of a topic that is relevant, but also in its sense I feel like has become more isolating where it's like almost everyone's getting help and like there's I don't know, there's like a thing of like it feels much more like the responsibility of someone rather than
Yeah.
a communal effort to care for one
Mm-hmm.
another and like an isolationist mindset. Um, yeah, I don't know. There was just I just think he's so smart and I'm
It
excited to hear
is.
him talk more about how smart he is.
It, it's insane, honestly.
It
Like
is.
when I was listening to it, I could just all I could do is smile because I was just like, this is so
Yeah.
relatable. Like, just he's just a relatable person,
Yeah.
and also I think like
And to put into
he's
words these feelings, like holy
he's
shit, my guy.
it's insane. Like he's been talking about mental health and like
Yeah.
honestly as well. Like
Yeah.
like some people,
In
I don't know,
revolutionary ways too. Like what he's saying
yeah,
here about like it's not selfish like to let
yeah,
someone else feel the burden. You're not giving it to them as like
hmm,
a thing to make them feel bad, but to share that and to connect. It's selfish to
yeah,
not give it to them. It's selfish to not let someone who loves you know how you feel, which is so
mm.
profound. And he's just like a musician. It's not like he's like trained
I
in
think
this.
it's just yeah, I just like how he just always has been so honest. I think that's the
Yeah.
word. Like I think
Yeah.
that's why we love him so much. Like it's
Yeah.
so relatable, so honest, and that's why when we listen to it and he's like, "This is yours now," it's
Yeah.
like we relate to it because
Yeah.
everyone's going through it. But
Yeah.
he's just well, he's not the only person who's doing it, obviously.
Right.
But I feel like
Right.
because a lot of his music is based on mental health,
Yeah.
how he copes with it, how he
Right.
doesn't cope with it, whatever. It's like someone's gonna someone listens to it and goes, "Oh my god, like that's me." Like you can word it
Yeah.
better than I can. That's I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people say it, and I've been saying it like he knows my feelings more than me.
Yeah,
And
truly,
yeah.
because he's so
Mm.
in touch with his own and can put
Hmm.
words to it and describe it, where us, it takes a lot more. Like we haven't gotten able to process it. And it's such a
Mm.
gift for someone who can do that to then share it with others to help them. And again,
Mm.
like even the act of doing that is you're opening yourself up to such
Hmm.
vulnerability. And he's able to do that because he's processed this, I think. And we're fortunate for that. Like, and it's never like surface level. Like he's really diving into
Hmm.
complex like
Yeah.
feelings of self and relationships with others and existence and like going through all of this and really creating beautiful art in the process. Like, so you can put this on and dance to it and sing
Yeah.
along and have fun while also, taking it as advice of
Hmm.
should I tell someone how I'm feeling? You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think because he is so articulate and so he uses metaphors and everything, so it's like you could sorry, you stop.
I was blowing my
No,
nose.
it's okay. Yeah, because he uses like metaphors and
Yeah.
stuff to describe it's like this and it's like this. You're just like, oh my God, yeah, like I get that now. I actually
Yeah.
understand why I might be feeling this way or why someone else felt that way towards how I was treating them. Like it's just it is
Right.
therapy. Like it is
Yeah.
therapy, but like
Yeah.
you don't want to put that on him. But
Right.
also I feel like he knows that I think he knows to a degree that it is there to help
Uh-huh.
people, which is why he says it's ours,
Yeah.
not just his. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And he actually said in this same interview, let me find it. I really hope my music can be comforting to people that are suffering. Initially, I make it because it's comforting to me. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, King. I love this interview. There's a lot more in it that's really thoughtful. So I will also link it in the bio, and if I remember when we release this, I'll try to share it on our Twitter. But I did also want to shout out, which I think is fun. Um, he uses the astronaut motif. He starts to use the astronaut more in
Hmm.
promo around this time. He has the
Yeah.
photo with the helmet, time and tree,
Hmm.
obviously, with the like veins. And then later, which is not on his website anymore, but he has the Astro Schoolboy merch, which is like my favorite collection he's done. I really love the Astro stuff. And they ask him about it. So I thought that was fun. He says, for me, the astronaut thing is like, for one, when I was a kid, I really wanted to be an astronaut, but I couldn't. I love the idea of exploration. I love the idea of going to places I've never dreamed that I could see and learning something from that. I feel like in some of my adult years, I've started to do that in a very different way, in a way I could never guess when I was a kid. I'm starting to sort of really have to look at myself differently and really explore why I feel the way I feel sometimes. It's not easy, and a lot of time I do kind of feel like I'm in space and just floating in space, not connected to the ground, just sort of floating around. That kind of just felt like a really appropriate image to me. This astronaut floating in unknown space, unknown territory, trying to find their way home, which we've been
Oh,
saying before we've even read
yeah.
this whole idea of like, well, he seems like he really like is in touch with his feelings. And here he's
Mm.
saying like, I've been purposefully, intentionally
Yeah.
trying to explore that aspect of myself. But I love the space motive. So like even now to know the reasoning behind it, it's like I love it even more. It's so beautiful. Yeah. What a
I love that
king.
guy.
We love
What a
him. Love
guy.
that
We
guy.
love him. We love him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's all. I think that's
Yeah.
everything. So we're either gonna finally start doing Andy. Maybe we'll throw in another thing there. Who knows? Maybe a news
Who
update,
knows?
depending on the next time we record. But it's been really fun to go back and kind of look at these songs that are really underrated. And especially for me, there's some interviews that I had not read before,
No.
that are really like such a interesting look inside his mind that, if you're just doing album promo or something, you might not have realized. But it's really fun. So
Yes.
yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Our link to our socials are in the comments or in the bio below. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, both the podcast Twitter and our personals. And hopefully we will hear more information about our R3 soon. I'm sure we'll think
Mm.
of something to do with You're a Man Now Boy as
Yeah.
well. So watch this space. Um, yeah. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.